Now, when it comes to how we feel about ourselves, how are we feeling today? Good? Or maybe you're like, actually, for a little while now, I've just been feeling a bit down and I'm not quite sure why. Joining us on the show to talk about perhaps one reason it could be, the wonderful Tanya Unkovich. Tanya, thanks for being a part of the show.
You are always welcome. Great topic.
The way in which we see ourselves, I mean, this impacts a lot of stuff, really, doesn't it? In terms of not just self-esteem, but our mental health, our physical health, a whole bunch of stuff all connected in with this.
The way we feel about ourselves, I believe, affects every single area of our life. You know, if we don't have that sense of self-worth, self-respect, we tend to settle for less. We tolerate what's probably intolerable, and I believe that we miss out on life. We miss out on the present moment.
Certainly. So what sort of things do we tolerate when it comes to our self-worth? How do we settle even?
Yeah, okay. Well, there are so many ways. First and foremost is we don't feel good. We feel down. We feel flat. There's that negative self-talk, you know, that crazy aunt in your head that's going yabba, yabba, yabba.
Yeah.
And we're forever comparing ourselves to others. And we don't, you know, we might even look in the mirror and go, I don't like what I see, yet there's absolutely nothing wrong with us, you know. So there's that emotional way that we really put ourselves down. That's one way.
It's not just physical, it's not just emotional, though. Our self-worth affects every part of who we are, including the way we relate to others.
Absolutely. If you aren't feeling good about yourself, then you're not going to speak with certainty. You're not going to speak with confidence. You're going to isolate from others even. Some people don't want to go out as much. And, you know, we've all been stuck a little bit indoors. And a lot of people haven't got their confidence to go back out and be around others. You know, in your intimate relationship, you don't show up as your best self when you're not feeling good about yourself. And you may start feeling insecure. You may start feeling suspicious of something that you don't have to be suspicious about. You may be tolerating behavior that's intolerable, you know. It's when we don't have that self-worth, we just settle. So
now, a lot of our relationships, you know, are at the workplace, actually. So what about professionally? How do we show up if perhaps we are having this negative self-talk going on?
Well, you don't operate at your full potential. There's a part of you that is hiding behind fear, hiding behind comparison. You don't want to try and strive any higher in case you fail, in case you are laughed at. You tend to stay a little bit more hidden. And, you know, of course, comparing yourself to others, that really shows up in your professional life.
We're talking about... Oh, no, keep going.
No, I was going to say what we need to do is really dig deep in ourselves and even go back and remember what we've already achieved professionally and go, well, look, I've done this before. I can do it again. I've just got to step up and actually do it. What's the big deal if I slip a little bit or fail a little bit? We've just got to do it.
One of the challenges with settling is that we believe the lie that the way we feel about ourselves is going to be the way it's always going to be. This may be a lie that we believe about ourselves, but we believe it's unchangeable. We don't have a hope for the future or perhaps a better version of the life that we're living.
And, you know, there's that great question, you know, when people who are at the end of the road and they say, I don't want to live anymore. It's not that they don't want to live. They just don't want to live like this anymore. And they've forgotten that actually there is another way. Everything we need is within us, and we just need to even fall on our knees and say, you know, Lord, I know that you are here. Help me out of this darkness. There is hope. It's about always holding on to hope, no matter what.
I mean, I love the fact that we can call out to God. In fact, He invites us to do that. So spiritually, how can we start perhaps changing that negative self-talk and start talking to God?
You know, this is a technique that I still use, and I started using it when I was 18. And I used to talk to God and say, you know, for some reason, and I don't understand why, I don't feel good about myself. I know I don't feel good about myself, but I know that you love me. That I know. So please help me to feel a bit of that love that you have for me. Help me to somehow feel that so that I know that I am worthy. And I share this technique with my clients, and they just love it. And they go, wow, what a beautiful way to feel self-acceptance when you just say, Lord, let me just feel even 10% of how much you love me. And that instills joy, that instills hope, it instills so much.
Look, I don't want to lay any more guilt on somebody that's already feeling low on this, but it's actually also a commandment, isn't it? The greatest commandment, that we are to love the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love our neighbours as ourselves. If we have low self-worth, that impacts our ability not just to love ourselves, but to love others and to love God.
Look, without question. And, so many people, they think they've got to look after everyone else before they look after themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to do that. But no, you must start within, and if it doesn't come naturally, then call on God, pray. I just so believe that when we really, really want something and ask and are ready and willing to accept, it is given to us.
When you are feeling low, I love that concept of calling out to God, asking God to help. But also there are some practical things as well that we can do. Making a list, one of them, how does this work?
Making a list of all of the things that you have already achieved in your life. Make a list of all of the things that you are proud of. Make a list of all of the things that you know that you've done already to get out of a slump. So if you know that just getting up and walking and moving your body changes your mood, then do it. So I encourage people to actually create a list of all of the strategies that they know. So it's like going to a recipe. Oh, okay, that's the next ingredient. So you just follow your list, but also believe and remember that you've been winning all of your life, but we forget. We forget that we've already overcome so much. We forget that we've already been loved. We forget that we've already been able to love someone else. It's about reminding ourselves, and I write it all down. I've got this massive book, and I add to it all the time.
Cool.
And it's like my little, it's like a, I suppose it's a This Is Your Life book, you might call it, But if ever I feel a little bit, I go back and flip there and I go, I do remember this. I do remember this, I find that a really good strategy.
A lot of people, I suppose, have got a different list. They've got a checklist in their head. And I know, Tanya, people would have been listening to our conversation today. And perhaps as you're going through the areas of low self-worth, physically, emotionally, relationally, professionally, they were ticking a lot of those boxes. There's some people that are feeling really stuck there. They're wanting to say, hey, I've just thought that this is the way it is with me. They have settled in that space, and maybe they need somebody to come alongside them, to encourage them. Maybe they need somebody to support them to re-look at the way in which they see themselves. Now, that is something which you have done for so many people over the years. It's your ministry of encouragement in some ways.
It sure is, and that's why I keep all of our past interviews on my YouTube channel. There is so much there to go back and look at and listen to. I always encourage clients when they first come to me to be able to say 3 words: I am worthy. Start there and start believing that and say it every day.
I am worthy. That is such a great thing to profess daily. We might have to do it twice a day, whatever it takes. Hey, Tanya, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
You are so welcome.